Hey babes, welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. My name is Audrey and today's video is Salem Norwood's full backstory explained. If you haven't watched the trailer that I posted, I highly recommend it. It's literally 5 minutes long. I put a lot of effort into it and I will have it linked down below and also kind of in the top little corner as well. So like I said, this is Salem Norwood. She's going to be our Gen 1 for the Crybaby Whims Legacy Challenge, and I figured a cast video where I explain more of her backstory, like more in depth of her backstory, would be perfect before actually putting out episode 1 and explaining how I'm going to be playing the Crybaby Whims Legacy Challenge. So like I said, here we have Salem Norwood. She's grown up in Brindleton Bay her whole life. She still lives there. Salem's only like 19 years old. Like she graduated from high school a year ago, so you know, she's just kind of still fresh out of high school. She is also freshly engaged to her fiance Saint O'Hara, who she's also kind of grown up with in Brindleton Bay. Like they literally just live like on the other side of town compared to where they grew up, so it's not like they moved that far. Saint is like stupidly rich. His family is pretty much like old money in the sense. I was gonna show myself making Saint, but I have Wicked Whims installed, and so my male Sims don't wear pants, and I can't show that on YouTube. Anyways, back to Salem. Like I said, Salem grew up in Brindleton Bay. She has an older sister named Olivia, who's 1 year older than her father Toby, who is a scientist, and her mother May, who is a stay-at-home mom slash like tailor, seamstress type of a deal. Like she would make custom dresses for people in town and also obviously for Salem and Olivia. So that kind of got Salem into fashion and styling and everything like that. Growing up though in Brindleton and just kind of with their family in particular, because of their dad being a scientist and just their family had very, very high expectations for the two girls. They made sure that they were always doing their homework. If there was extra credit to be done, the girls were doing extra credit, you know, their projects and everything like that. So they wanted them to be independent, but they also wanted to make sure that they were doing the homework to the best that they could and going over things, and like they were correcting their homework and they're like, you're not turning it in like that. So it made the girls very, very much they're both perfectionists because of that. Like they are always hard on themselves and always think that they could do better, when in the sense they have done an amazing job. But that's just one of her traits now. She's a perfectionist because of how she grew up in high school. And so growing up, her and Olivia were very, very close. Like I said, they're only 1 year apart, and they were literally like attached at the hip. They were best friends. They would hang out together. Their friends, like Olivia's friends and Salem's friends, they were all just one big group of friends. The 1 year, it's not a whole lot, so it didn't really make a difference with anything. They also were competitive to see like who could be, you know, who would be the president of the most clubs, or who would get the best grades, who would ace the most exams and stuff like that. So it was like a fun little friendly competition that they had going on between each other, and May always dressed them alike, and so people referred to them as the twins, even though everyone knew they weren't, but they were always kind of dressed alike for events and stuff like that. So yeah, they grew up, they were the best of friends, loved each other to death, and they were just kind of, you know, they were like, oh, let's go to the same school, this and that. And that was up until Salem's sophomore year in high school. She met a new kid had moved into town. His name was Kai. They met, they started hanging out, and they fell in love essentially. Like they fell in love. They were always together. Like if you were looking for Kai, you would find Salem. If you're looking for Salem, you're going to find her with Kai. Like there was no ifs, ands, or buts. So Salem was hanging out less with Olivia and more with Kai, which Olivia was a bit jealous of because she still hadn't been in a relationship yet. And like I said, they're competitive, and so Salem has beaten her in that part of being in a relationship. Salem and Kai, like, they said I love you. They were planning their life together, like what they were gonna do after high school, family, just all of that. And so Salem was like, I'm set, like I have the love of my life. I'm doing pretty good in high school, even though like it's only leading up to her sophomore year. But I mean, she was just like, you know, what could go wrong? Well, something did go wrong. She found her boyfriend essentially sleeping with her sister. She caught them red-handed, and obviously she was distraught. Her and Olivia got into a fight. She got into a fight with Kai. They broke up. It was a whole ordeal. Her mom came to, you know, break it up and everything like that. And she's like, look, I don't care if you guys hate each other, but you still have to play nice in the public fight. Like when we're out and about in public, you guys are still gonna have to play nice. Like she tried to kind of, you know, talk them down and everything, but she didn't do a really good job, and it pissed Salem off because she felt like Olivia wasn't punished or anything like that for her. Like she's like, how could you just, you know, let her sleep with my boyfriend? Like, how are you okay with this? It was a whole thing. It caused a rift in the family for sure. And after that, Salem and Olivia's relationship was just, you know, completely fractured. And on top of that, Olivia and Kai started to date. So it was like, okay, not only did he cheat on her, but now she still has to see him every day because he is with her sister, and it just really pissed her off. At the same time, Kai is still very much in love with Salem, and he, you know, constantly tries to get back with Salem or say little things to, you know, maybe win her back, and it wasn't working. Salem met Saint, well, they've known each other for like since they were kids and everything, but they started talking and hanging out a lot more, and they fell in love essentially. So Salem fell in love with Saint. They started dating seriously her junior year, or the summer of her junior year leading up to her junior year in high school. And it was just like everything she wanted and more. It was, she felt safe with Saint, and just he truly adores and cares for her. Like he is in love with her. Like Saint and Kai are just crazy for Salem. Like there's no other way to put it. They're just crazy for this girl. So Saint obviously really happy, really excited. They are madly in love with each other. They've told each other, I love you. They start planning out their future and everything like that. Unfortunately, a few hiccups happen. Saint isn't aware, but Salem has maybe kissed Kai a couple of times here and there. And she's really gone out of her way to kind of try and avoid Kai because feelings are still there, but he's with her sister, and she's like, it's a complicated relationship where she can't forgive him, but she also just like can't get rid of him. And so she does her best to kind of just avoid them at all costs, which is fine, until Kai proposed to Olivia. And Salem was very pissed off about this because her and Kai had a conversation, and she was under the impression that they were going to maybe try and start the relationship over again, but he went and proposed to her sister, and so she was like, you know what, no, screw you, I hate you. And obviously her and Olivia had not spoken really much outside of, you know, family events. Her family, her mom and dad were like, you are going to be your sister's maid of honor because she doesn't really have a lot of friends, and it would look really bad if you were not in the wedding because to everyone else you guys are still, you know, really close, and we need to keep up appearances. So Salem was pissed off because why do I have to be the maid of honor? Like, I don't want to be the maid of honor. I will attend the wedding and like show my face, but I don't want to be here. And her parents were like, no, you have no other choice. You're going to be the maid of honor. And Olivia was, Olivia is really weird. Like, she doesn't feel like, I guess, she did anything wrong in a sense. Like, she realized, she's just like, yeah, I stole your boyfriend and what type of a deal. So asking Salem to be her maid of honor, she was just like, no, you have to do this. Like, you have no other choice. You're my sister. This is what's gonna be done. So Salem agrees. Obviously, she has no say in it at all. And the worst part is that Olivia planned her wedding day to be the same day of Saint and Salem's anniversary. And mind you, they already had this whole thing planned out for their anniversary, and everyone was pretty much aware of this because Salem was talking about it nonstop. She was super duper excited. She felt like something was going to happen because Saint was kind of going all out and wanted to do all these different things. And Olivia's wedding date was the date of her and Saint's anniversary, which Salem was just like, no, I'm like, it just set her off even more. She's like, I'm really not going to be going to this wedding. Like, I refuse to go. But she did go, and unfortunately at the wedding she hooked up with Kai. After he said his I do's to her sister Olivia, Salem and Kai did hook up, and later that night her and Saint kind of ran off. Saint was like, hey, I have a surprise for you, and he took her to this beautiful area that he had decorated and everything, and he proposed to Salem, and of course she said yes, and they hooked up obviously that night as well. So now Salem is engaged, and we are going to be planning her wedding and everything like that. But because of her hooking up with both Kai and her fiance Saint, she has now discovered that she is pregnant months later after the wedding and the proposal. So that's kind of where we're starting off this series, is a couple months after the whole wedding and everything like that. Salem has discovered that she is now pregnant, and she does not know who the father is of the baby. So yes, that is her backstory all the way up until now. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm so excited to be playing this. Like, you guys don't even know. I'm so excited for this series. I'll talk more about the legacy in the intro video, like the official episode 1, and kind of a couple of things that I'm changing. But yeah, I hope you guys like watching me make Salem. I had a lot of fun dressing her and making her outfits. I have a whole Pinterest board for the kind of fits I want her to eventually wear. So yeah, thank you guys so much, and I will see you all in the next video. Enjoy!